Family gatherings are definitely one of the most awaited events in our family, especially when they happen during long holidays. It's the kind of thing we all look forward to for months, even if we don't really say it out loud. The plan is always simple. We have a few days of sleepovers and then we just hang out every day, doing basically nothing but being together. It sounds simple, and it is, but somehow it always ends up being the best time. There's just something about spending time with people you're comfortable with and not worrying about being productive or having a packed schedule. Just eat, chat, nap, and repeat. At night, to keep the energy going and bond a little more, we usually watch movies together or play some interactive games. And for a bunch of very competitive people like my family, game night isn't just a chill activity, it's a serious business. Somehow, even something as harmless as a card game can end up feeling like a full on tournament. We don't mess around. So, about a week before Eid, I figured we need to spice things up a little. We had watched so many movies, played so many card games, and repeated the same old stuff so many times, and I thought, why not create a whole new way to feed our competitive spirit? I came up with the idea of a sports competition. But because I know my family and how some of us, including me, are on the lazy side, I decided to just add a modern, borderline lazy twist to it. I made it an online sports competition. It wasn't just any random online game though. I specifically planned for it to be played on the Nintendo Switch using Switch Sport. I thought it was perfect because it would still be active and sporty enough to make us feel like we're doing something, but not so intense that someone would actually pull a muscle. Plus, it was funny to imagine everyone swinging their arms around in their living room. To make it official and a little more exciting, I made a catchy poster for the event. I even made sure to add a grand prize to raise the stakes. In big bold letters, I wrote, "Winner will get 100k rupiah." Then I sent the poster to our family group chat and waited for the chaos to begin. As expected, the responses were full of confusion. Everyone was asking the same thing. How are we supposed to play badminton online? From a screen? Is this a joke? I explained that we were going to set up Nintendo Switch on our big TV and play using the motion sensor controllers. I told them that Switch Sport was super simple. You just swing the controller like you're swinging a real racket. It wasn't complicated at all, and even better, you could do it while standing in one spot. No running around needed, and at first they were skeptical, but after realizing that there was a cash prize involved, everyone suddenly became very willing to participate. Funny how money can solve confusing so quickly. A few days before the big competition, I brought my Nintendo Switch over and started setting everything up. I showed the game to my cousin and siblings and I taught them how to play one by one. We did a few practice rounds to make sure everyone understood the mechanics and had a fair shot during the real competition. Even my aunts and uncle gave it a try, although they decided to just spectate for the real matches. I guess they didn't want to risk accidentally throwing their shoulder out during a virtual match. During those practice sessions, things got pretty lively. Everyone loved the game way more than I thought they would. We ended up practicing every single day leading up to 8. It was supposed to be just casual warm up, but knowing my family, it quickly escalated into unofficial tournament where people started learning tricks to beat the game. Some figured out how to swing just at the right weird angle to confuse the system. It was hilarious to watch everyone getting way too serious about a simple game. I didn't mind though. I figured once we had the real competition, everyone would be on even ground since they all had plenty of practice. Plus, I made it clear, no tricks allowed during the official matches. Pure skill only. Finally, the night before Eid, it was time for the real thing. I set up the Nintendo Switch in the living room, connected it to the big TV, and organized everyone into a tournament bracket. To make it fair, I grouped players by age so that the younger kids didn't have to face off against the teenagers right away. The rules were simple. Just play the badminton game, swing when you need to, and try to win your match. The game itself is pretty straightforward. It's basically just about timing your swings correctly to hit the shuttlecock. But even though it was all happening virtually, the atmosphere felt just as intense as any real life competition. As soon as the first match started, the whole living room transformed into a stadium. Every hit, every miss, every point scored got reactions from the crowd. People were waiting for their turn, sitting on the edge of the couch, nervously watching the screen and sizing up their future opponents. Every match felt important, even when it was just two people wildly swinging arms at the TV. Some matches ended quickly, a few were even blowouts where other player barely had a chance to hit the shuttlecock. Others were really tight back and forth games that had everyone holding their breath. You could feel the tension in the air even though it was just a digital shuttlecock on a screen. Eventually, we made it to the final round, the match to decide the ultimate winner. It was between two of the most competitive cousins, and everyone picked a side to cheer for. The room was filled with screaming, laughter, and lots of dramatic gasping every time a point was scored. Both players were doing so well, it honestly felt impossible to predict who was going to win. Every time it seemed like one of them was about to pull ahead, the other one would catch up. It was intense, way more intense than it had any right to be. Finally, after what felt like an hour but probably just a few minutes, the oldest brother in the family won. He needed one more point to secure the win and managed to pull it off with a crazy comeback. Honestly, it wasn't surprising. He had been hyping himself up all week, acting like he was training for the Olympics or something. He basically manifested that win. The best part about the whole experience was how it brought everyone together. I had expected a few laughs and maybe some fun moments, but what I didn't expect was how much it would strengthen our bond. It was more than just playing games or competing for a silly prize. Watching my family come together to share something so lighthearted without any expectation or pressures made me realize how important these little moments are. In a world where we all seem to be running around constantly, it's rare to have a time where everyone can just stop, laugh, and be present with each other. We've all got our own lives, our own routines, and sometimes it feels like we're drifting apart. But these family gatherings, even when they're as simple as playing a game, reminded us that we're always connected, and that connection is something worth celebrating. Everyone was cheering and laughing, and it was time to present the grand prize. I walked up to him with a very serious face, holding the prize in my hand, and then I handed over a 100k rupiah plushie. Not real money, just a toy. He stood there, staring at it, completely stunned. For a second, you can see the gears turning in his head, trying to figure out if he was being pranked. And then he burst out laughing. Everyone else was already rolling on the floor, laughing by then. It was one of the moments where the joke just landed perfectly. Even though it wasn't real money, he still proudly took the plushie like it was an Olympic gold medal. To make it even better, we recorded a fake winner's speech video where he held up the plushie like a trophy and thanked his fans for their support. It was the perfect way to end the night. Lots of laugh, lots of inside jokes, and another core memory added to our family's ended collection. Looking back, the whole thing turned out even better than I imagined. It wasn't just about the competition or the prize, it was about creating something new to enjoy together, something a little silly but a lot of fun. And honestly, nothing beats that feeling.